everyone, it's Ellie from Teens vs Cancer here today, and I want to talk to you guys about coping in remission. So you've just finished your treatment and now you've got remission, which is absolutely amazing. If that's where you are right now, then congratulations. It is such a great feeling to be finally off of treatment. However, understandably, it is very frightening because suddenly you've lost your chemo armor, or you have to fend for yourself, and that is difficult because you do feel somewhat vulnerable. That's how I felt. I felt like my armor had been taken away from me and I had to go and fight my own battles, and I had to kind of work it out for myself. I didn't have my hospital family right there all the time with me, and that was scary, and adjusting to normality was actually harder than I expected, I must say. And the difficult thing is that people don't realise that when treatment's over, it doesn't just end. You've got scans, you've got doctor's appointments, long-term side effects. So it is like a second battle, and going through recovery is quite hard as well. And people just expect you to bounce back into your normal life, and that can be very difficult. I know people who found remission even more difficult than the treatment itself because they felt almost isolated, and going back into normal life was very difficult for them. And of course, the mental health side of things, you may get a bit of PTSD of a treatment. I know I'm making this sound very dark. Remission is absolutely amazing. I love remission because it means that I can just do things again and I can live almost like a normal teenager again, and that is absolutely great. So it's not always dark, but I just want to talk to you guys about how to cope in remission, because I just want you to know that it's okay not to be okay in remission. It is harder than people make it out to be. The most important thing that I want to address in this video is more the mental health side of things. I know a lot of friends who developed conditions such as PTSD after their treatment because, you know, you're kind of in treatment, you're just in the swing of it. You are just living to face another day. It's almost like you're on adrenaline all the time. You're just going through the battle and not looking back. Whereas in remission, there's a lot of time to look back and to look back on what you've been through and the trauma that you've been through. And that is hard because it brings back a lot of emotions. And that's okay. It is okay to feel down. It is okay to feel emotional about everything. But what I want you to know is that just because you're in remission doesn't mean that you can't ask for help. Just because you're in remission doesn't mean that you have to fend for yourself. Your doctors are still there to help you. So make sure that if you are in a state where your mental health isn't great or you're feeling low, then make sure that you do speak up and ask your doctors for help. Help is the most important thing that you can do, because in remission, your body's getting better. So naturally, your mind will be getting better. So you'll be stronger to actually combat your mental health issues, if that makes sense. But just remember that you're not alone and that you don't have to fight remission alone. I know that sounds so melodramatic, but remission is its own battle in itself, let's face it. Understandably, when you go into remission, you just want to do all the things that you missed out on in treatment, which is absolutely great. Tick off some bucket list ideas, enjoy yourself, live in the moment, have a great time. However, you need to make sure that you listen to your body, because even though it may not feel like it, your body is still somewhat ill. It's still recovering from all the treatment or surgery or radiotherapy that you had. It's still going through that and it needs time to recover. So whilst you should definitely go out and enjoy yourself, make sure you do listen to your body and make sure that you do rest. If you rest more, then you can recover faster and do the things that you really want to do. Leading on from that, make sure that you embrace life and live it. What my doctor said to me is in remission, do bucket list ideas. Go and enjoy yourself, because who knows what's around the corner. So make sure that you live in the moment, live life to the full, be positive, whatever. Just do things that you want to do, because who knows if you're going to relapse? Who knows what's going to happen? So you may as well live life to the full, because I know a lot of people that almost hold things off in the first year of remission because they feel like, what's the point of doing anything fun if I'm just going to relapse in the first year anyways? But I don't think that is the right attitude. I think that you should do whatever you can, because let's say if unfortunately you did relapse in the first year, then at least you can look back and think, I did some amazing things with my free time. With that time where I was cancer free, I didn't have any worries, I didn't have any restraints. You want to look back and think, I enjoyed myself, I didn't worry about cancer. So make sure that you make a bucket list and you tick off some bucket list ideas, and you know, you don't have to do anything extravagant, just do the simple things that make you happy. I think the hardest part about remission is definitely the scans. Having scans so frequently can bring up so many bad emotions, and the fear of relapse can make you feel like a worrying mess. It really does, and it is very scary, and it kind of makes you feel very vulnerable again. It reminds you that you're not invincible, and that is very difficult. But what my mum once told me is that take each day as it comes and don't worry about tomorrow, because no one knows what's coming around the corner. And I think that's a really important quote to live by, because wouldn't you rather live life to the full and have the best time, or would you rather be a worrying mess, fearing and worrying about something that may not even happen? Personally, I would rather be positive and live my life to the full. I know it's easier said than done not to worry, but you know, just try and keep positive, that's all you can do, and try and distract yourself by doing good things. So maybe the night before you have scans, maybe go out for dinner or see some friends. Just do anything to keep your mind off of it. My last piece of advice is to make sure that you keep your support network. I think this is so important, because you need your support network in treatment, but quite equally you do still need your support network in remission, because they're the ones that know what you've been through, and they're the ones that can sympathize with you. And I think that's really important, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure in remission to just bounce back to the way that you were before and bounce back to normality, when that is so difficult. People think, oh, you're not in treatment anymore, what have you got to complain about? You're just milking it. When that's not the case whatsoever, because remission is difficult. It can bring up a lot of mental health issues, and it is just generally difficult. But if you have that support network there to support you, then that is amazing. And as long as you have that good support network there, then you'll get through it just fine. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope this video helped you. For more information and advice, go to the TeensVsCancer website. The link will be in the description box. Remember that you are stronger than cancer.